Alright, hello. This is Byron Campbell, also known as Kitten Hoarder on Board Game Geek. Wishing you a very happy Labor Day or restful Labor Day, productive Labor Day, I don't know. Uh, and the reason that I'm recording this video is a few months ago I recorded a playthrough of Space Alert, the cooperative real-time game from Czech designer Vlada Fatil, and I was wanting to follow it up for a long time with another video, but it takes up a lot of space. I'm recording this on my iPad because I don't have any fancy video recording software. I don't have any video editing software, so just to get this out of the way up front, this is going to be just a straight record all the way through, and then chop it into segments and upload it to YouTube. There's not going to be any fancy editing going on whatsoever. In any case, recording this on my iPad, I don't have a lot of space, so I need to delete things, move some things around, make time, figure out what I want to record, so it took a little while before I was able to prepare for this next video. Hopefully, this will be worthwhile to somebody. The aim of this video is, it's sort of a slightly video review, video playthrough of the card game Onirim, which is a solitaire or two-player cooperative card game from designer Shadi Torbay. It's published by Z-Man Games. There's actually a new edition of this game coming out in the very near future that will expand upon the game in certain ways, and I'm very excited about that. This is not my favorite game to play solitaire. I am primarily a solitaire gamer. I play most of my games solo, and this game fills a particular niche in that it is very quick and very clean, I guess I would say, in terms of the mental processes that are required to play the game. But it isn't my favorite game, and in fact, I think it is on its way to being replaced by some other games that play in a relatively similar time period, but offer a little bit more meat in terms of strategic depth. However, I'm very excited about the new edition of the game coming out, which will expand the content quite a bit of the game, and I'm very excited to see what that new edition brings to the table. So, before I get into the playthrough, I will just briefly describe the game. Like I said before, this is a solitaire or two-player cooperative game. It can be played either way. You can't play it with more than two players, but the two-player variant, I find to be quite good, and I've actually played a few games solitaire playing as two hands using the two-player variant, because it introduces some new strategic options. It is quite a bit harder, I think, than the solitaire game. It plays, the back of the box says that it plays in 15 minutes. That's pretty accurate. I would say a lot of the time it plays in less than 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And let's just see what's inside the box. So the first thing you notice when you open up the box is that there are actually two rule sheets, one for the basic game and one for the expansions, and that is pretty much the main thing that sets Onirim apart, is that it comes with 3 expansions packaged inside the game box. Now, don't get me wrong, these aren't like big Arkham Horror type expansions. These are little mini, they're more like game variants. They add new options to the game, they add new goals to the game. All of them make the game more difficult in some ways and give you more options to deal with the increased difficulty. So, if you play the basic game, and and you find yourself dissatisfied with the amount of strategic and tactical choices that you have to make, start right away with these expansions, because they really increase that. And some people say that the game is best played by using all expansions simultaneously. I prefer to play, sort of cycle through them, and that gives the game a lot of replayability as you play, essentially, between 4 and, 9 different variations on the game, depending on which expansions you leave in, keep out, etc., etc. Keep in, leave out, put in, whatever. Okay. And that's the big draw of the new edition coming out, is that it increases the amount of expansions that are packaged in the game from 3 to, I don't know, I would have to look it up, but it adds several new expansions to the game. And it comes in a larger box, obviously, to hold all of the new cards. And I'm really interested to see what the new expansions add, because right now you have 3 expansions. You can play with 1, 2, or 3 of them at once. That gives a lot of different variation, and you can just imagine adding just 1 new expansion to the mix. You have that many more different variations of the game that you can play. But adding several new expansions exponentially increases the amount of different variables when setting up the game. Okay, next in the box, you will notice, first of all, this is a very small box. Very, very small box. I guess pretty average size for just a simple card game, but, you can easily pack this into your carry-on, going on an airplane, you can pack it into your backpack. It's very, very portable, which is nice, and the game itself doesn't take up a lot of space. Inside the box, no space is wasted, as you can see, and that is actually a bit of a problem when you are thinking of sleeving the cards, as some people like to do. I actually had these cards sleeved for a while, and I eventually stopped doing it because it was just too much hassle. I'll explain why in a little bit, why I thought about sleeving them and why I eventually took the sleeves off. But just so people are prepared, as you could probably guess if you've put your cards into sleeves in the past, the amount of space taken up by the cards in the box without sleeves leaves absolutely no room for the additional space that sleeves take up. You're going to need to find a different storage solution for the game. I had all of the basic game cards, which is this pile and some of this pile. I had all of those in a little plastic bag outside of the box, and I had just the expansion cards in sleeves in the box. And that worked okay, but I'm very happy to be able to use the actual box to store the game now. Okay, so